Hello everybody and welcome to the Sound Test Room US. My name is Colin and this is my second video in the series here. And today we're going to be taking a look at Fifth Degree. This app was just released a few weeks ago as part of the KVR Developer Challenge. Essentially the challenge was to create some sort of audio software for Windows, Mac, iOS, what have you, that is not only free but benefits the community, which I think this app does quite well here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. It's a little limited in its functionality. It's essentially a MIDI sequencer that sends us a fixed sequence. So for what it does it quite well, but as far as in terms of playability, you are just sort of kind of given the circle of fifths to work with here. So when I hit play, we're not going to hear anything. It's only a MIDI controller. It only sends data. So you do need to use an external app or hardware for it. But you can see what it's doing here. It's moving clockwise in the circle of fifths. So we're in C right now, C major. You can change your scale right here. You can change your root. So this would be A minor, all of the notes within our C major scale there. So yeah, and the root is the most colorful button, not the beginning of the arc necessarily, not the empty one, most colorful there. So let's get something to control. Let's go to our settings tab here. And MIDI is in the lower right, and we can see that Fifth Degree is sending on channel 1 and it's turned on. So that looks good. So we'll hit save and we'll use Animoog. And when we go to Animoog, it's gonna just start right away. It should. I have it set to channel 1 already. We can go to setup here and just double check. So as you can see, Fifth Degree is highlighted. It recognized it right away because it started with that. Let's turn this off real quick. Sometimes when you start Animoog first, it's not going to see Fifth Degree, or Fifth Degree won't automatically be highlighted here. You'll have to go in manually and adjust that, and you can change your channel there. So yeah, so we're on channel 1. Looks good. The other thing I want to do is just change the modulation here, move the release down a bit so you can hear what's happening a little bit better. It's a little shorter. So now we can change our note length with this slider up here. This is our global note length. And we can change that in this tab here. Within our settings, there's note length. And right now, the maximum is 3 whole notes, and the minimum is a 1/64th note, rather. So, when we have it on 3 whole notes there, and we hit save, at maximum velocity, they start to overlap, which is kind of a cool function. When you can do that with just the 2 notes overlapping a little more clear. That's pretty cool. That kind of definitely has more of a chord type tone to it. And you can shorten it all the way down here. So depending on your use, you might just want to keep it, at 1 whole note, has your maximum. And that way you're not going to accidentally run into that kind of crazy overlap. But if that's what you want, that's where you can set it here in our note length. So that's pretty cool. So let's go with something a little shorter right now. Actually, let's go maybe something like that. And now here we can change our velocity for each step with these 7 sliders. So it kind of, sometimes it takes it along with it there. But you can hear our first step there is a much lower velocity. Let's kind of get them ascending a little bit. And then descending. So you can hear our A is this note here, and it's definitely has the highest velocity to it. So you can definitely get pretty creative, especially when you start using the BPM function here. So let's turn that off real quick. When we go to settings, we can go to tempo in the middle. And this is where we set the slider range, much like our note length range. You can set it all the way from 10 to 500 if you like. Alternatively, you can set it for a much shorter range, and then this way have access to half steps should you want it. So yeah, so that's 128.5, so depending on what tempo you're working with or trying to sequence to, you can do that. This does send clock as well. One thing about it is that, it's 7 steps, but it's in 7/4. So you know, it's a little, one thing it sells itself as is an accompaniment, so that, you know, if we're playing along here, we can grab a piano or a guitar, you know, and kind of practice our scales or something if we wanted to, you know, just kind of jam out. So if you also wanted to do that with another sequencer here, it can send clock, but in 7/4, it kind of doubles it. So when we look here, we can see that the BPM is doubled in Animoog, and it's not exact, you know, which is the wonders of iOS MIDI. But yeah, so, you know, this is in 7/4, so when you look for your other apps in the sequencers, the BPM might be doubled within them because of this crazy time signature. And, you know, it's not crazy. It's just a little different for those of us who are more used to 4 on the floor kind of beats. So in any case, that, you know, these functions can be combined together to kind of create some cool little sequences. So another thing that we can do is turn our BPM way up. Let's go to the 500 range. And then, you know, like when we remove notes, it skips some steps, you know. But let's get some higher velocities going. And then now, another aspect it advertises itself for is to open up your synth and just start playing around with the modulations here, you know. And so it's just a nice, clean, easy way to get a quick sequence going, so you can try new things on your synth. So yeah, get crazy with the detune, you know, who knows. But yeah, so essentially, you know, you can actually kind of create some really interesting, you know, neat little sequences that are based on some solid music theory. You know, so there are a few other functions here. Essentially, I just wanted to show you this real quick too. When we're playing a sequence, it's a little ugly with our detune, but you can change, you know, your octave here with the 0 through 9. So let's stick with that bassy one. And then now this will change how many octaves are represented within the 7 notes there. So now we have 3 octaves spanning the 7 notes here, and it looks like the E and the B are, you know, kind of raised up a little bit. And same thing with, you know, we can add a 4th octave. So you can, you know, adjust your velocities, and just kind of play around, and you can really find some cool, you know, that, I don't know. So it's really, while it just offers a single sequence for you to control, you can really kind of have a lot of fun with it, and you know, use your velocity, your note length, your octaves, your BPM. It gives you, you know, quite a few controls to kind of have a lot of fun with, you know, a single sequence. So yeah, if you have any questions or anything, you know, hit us up at thesoundtestroom.com. You know, email me, however you need to get in contact. I'm happy to answer anything I can. This is a great little app. It's free, you know, the best price of all. You can't argue with it. So yeah, so I hope you found this informative, and I'll see you guys next time, all right? Take care, everybody.